This next question, we have got a clip, and the question is from Jennifer McGee. In Rockefeller Skank, what is being said in the background? Me and my mum always wanted to know. So if you could just play that stuff. Is it? Can we do it again?
Well, I can tell you what it says. It says Rockefeller.
Rockefeller, really?
Yeah, most people don't get this. It says Rockefeller, that's why it's called the Rockefeller Skank. The name is in the title. Yeah, no, it's somebody saying Rockefeller, kind of slowed down and chopped up. But in that bit, it's sort of right, ba ba ba, rock, rock, rock. But yeah, no, it's just the syllables of Rockefeller.
Okay, well, we all know, we've learned something today. Thanks, Jennifer, good question. Right, one more question before I go to the floor. Nikita Sati says, do you feel that stopping drinking has affected the way that you DJ?
I don't know, because I can't remember how I DJ. I don't know, I mean, I think I take it a lot more seriously. People still seem to like it. Yeah. But I don't know, I mean, there was probably a sort of a joie de vivre in my drunk DJing style that people like, but like I said, I can't actually remember what I used to do, so. No, I'm just thankful that I still enjoy it just as much, if not more, and this time around I remember it.
Okay. Oh, okay, we're going to have some questions from the floor, so do we need to get a mic? Who's on that duty? Excellent. Okay, so Henry Landon, are you in the building? No? Okay, I'll ask a question for you. That's fun enough. Henry says, how did you choose the name Fatboy Slim?
Oh, do I have to answer that one?
I had to put it in there.
No reason, it's just an oxymoron. It's a blues singer that could never exist.
Okay, there we go. Amy Alfrey, are you here? No? Okay.
I think these people are all here, they've just totally gone shy.
Is anybody here who's asking questions? Put your hand up. That's all right, we've got 3. How did you start making music? That's a very broad question.
How did I start making music? Just punk rock. When punk rock came out, it's like you don't have to be a musician to be in a band. It's like, here's an instrument, now try and play it. So I was the drummer in the first band, and then I was the lead singer, and then I was the guitarist in the next band. So yeah, no, it just came from the punk ethic of, I never actually learned, I learned piano at school for about 3 years, but apart from that I just picked things up and played them until they sounded alright.
Did you used to jam with mates when you were studying at uni as well?
No, I was in a band with Paul Heaton, who I ended up in the house parties with later. And I was in a band with him when we were in the sixth form, and I failed my A-levels because of that. And so I sort of made the decision to retake my A-levels, come here to college, and in my head I said, right, the reason you failed your A-levels is because you were in a band, so stay out of bands all the way through college, and at least you give yourself a chance. And so, hence I concentrated on my DJing, and I was a student in Brighton. So yeah, it was kind of the desire to study kept me out of bands, which opened a new career as a DJ.
Superb, okay.
So, not a wasted education.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Amy, for that one. Oscar Speed, you in the building? No? Okay. How do you go about creating a song?
Well, my method is normally to find a kind of hook line, a phrase or a sample that sounds like the chorus. And once you've got that, everything else flows. Rather than sitting there programming beats and writing this kind of a rhythm track. Yeah, no, I get the hook line, the bit that goes Rockefeller.
Have you got any samples that you've created, you've put in some songs, and you've come back to because it's worked in one, you hide it away in another?
Yeah, there is a certain amount of reusing. If you've got a favourite that hasn't been used. In fact, Praise You started out on a kind of chill out album that I made. And yeah, there was something, after hearing it like for a year, it's like there's something about that vocal sample. So I kind of did it a bit more up tempo. But yeah, you kind of do really. Sometimes if there's a sample you really like, you keep using it until you have a hit with it. Okay. Like, I will keep using this until somebody buys it.
You've sold a lot of records as well. Do you know how many records you've sold?
No.
Neither do I. I need to get we'll find out.
Enough.
Enough. Thank you, Oscar. Juliet Manners.
We're really
That's
doing
fine,
well.
No
Are you sure you've got the right list?
Yeah. Juliet says, very simple question, what's your favourite thing to have on toast?
Favourite thing to have on toast? Peanut butter.
Peanut butter, classic. Rebecca.
Crunchy.
Crunchy peanut butter.
Not smooth.
Have you had it with jam and banana, PJBs?
No.
Student favourite.
Really?
Yeah, give it a go.
Okay.
Kids will love it. Rebecca Bayer. Are you
Hey!
round of applause for Rebecca.
Thanks for coming.
I was just wondering, how do you get your big break?
How I got my big break? But from being in a band with Paul Heaton when we were at school, and then I came down here to go to college, and he moved up to Hull and started a band called the House Martins, and we sort of kept in touch. And just as I'd finished college, their bass player left, so I rejoined the band, and they just got a record contract, and I think kind of John Peel sessions were what broke us. That was how you got your big break in those days, was getting John Peel to commission you to do a session. And then I suppose the Happy Hour video was what really broke us. Yeah, so being in the wrong place at the wrong time down here, moving up to Hull. And
Did you ever get to meet John?
I did, yes. I actually played DJ with John Peel in this building.
Two legends in one place.
I supported him, I think it was in Cockcroft.
Right.
Yeah, like a student union disco. Yeah, I supported him, and he referred to me, when he came on, he said, "Thank you to my son for warming up for me." And John Peel described me as his son. But no, and then I've also, we did John Peel sessions.
Of course.
But yeah, no, I played with him. It's very, is it upstairs in the refectory?
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere in the history, yeah.
There you go, history. Thank you, Rebecca. Right, we're going to have a little game. It's the Sony award-winning game. It's definitely not. I've called it Play or Skip.
Right.
Okay, now basically, if this song came on a compilation album, would you either play it or skip it? And you just have to say play or skip. All right? Simple as
Just
that.
me, not...
Just
me,
me.
mate.
I just want to gauge your music taste. So if you just have it faded halfway there, please, Jack. Okay, Rihanna.
Skip.
The Beatles.
Play.
Air.
Play.
Lady Gaga.
Skip.
Ed Sheeran.
Play.
Whitney Houston.
Skip, unless it was Saying All My Love For You.
Angus and Julia Stone.
Pass.
The Beach Boys.
Play.
ABBA.
Again, depends on it. Skip, probably.
Beady Eye.
Beady Eye, play.
The Beautiful South.
Play.
Benny King.
Oh, Benny King, play. As long as it wasn't Stand By Me.
Okay, round of applause.
Actually, more nerve-wracking than I thought.
What do you think Sony will be on the phone?
What's the Sony reference? Sorry,
Sony Awards, the Sony Giveaway Radio Awards.
Giveaway radio. Oh, right.
So for best show, best feature.
I should know that because my wife's got it. Sorry. They're quite weird. They're like a sort of plastic radio with a bit of wire sticking out of it. Well, not say plastic. It's like etched glass, see-through radio with a funny bit of wire sticking out of it.
I don't know if I want one now.
No, you will. Over the years, you will.
Welcome back, thank you. We're live on Burst Radio at the Cockcroft building, and we're joined by the legend who's just got some lovely chips, courtesy of our cafe. It's Fatboy Slim. So we've spoken a bit about your music and your touring coming up. This section I just want to talk about university, Brighton life in general, and we're also going to be playing another game.
Right, okay.
So you studied at Brighton University in 1981.
Yep.
You did a BA, is it English, Politics and Sociology?
British Studies, it was
British
called, which I
Studies.
think now is called Urbanisation Studies. My nephew's doing it now.
Right.
Yeah, I was actually here in Cockcroft for about 3 days until I realised I was on the wrong course doing it. And I didn't have maths A level. So, yeah, so I skipped from a BSc down here to a BA at Fatboy. And, yeah, got a 2-1. Which I've never used. Thank you.
Very good.
And never left, never went home. Just stayed in Brighton.
How much harder, or is it harder, to study a degree compared to what you're doing making a living?
Interesting. The hours are more doing what I do now. Obviously, it doesn't require the same kind of application. I don't know.
Maybe you can't compare the two.
No, yeah, you can't really compare the two. One is kind of sort of learning how to take things seriously and learning how to stick at one thing for 3 years. With a view to proving to people that you're really responsible. And the other is not taking anything seriously, not sticking to anything, and being irresponsible for a living.
Where have you got your certificate? Is it on the wall?
I don't know where it is actually, to be honest. It's somewhere lurking around at home.
Okay, do you think somebody needs a degree to be successful?
Ooh, that's a good question. No, you don't need a degree to be successful. I mean, I didn't use my degree to get a job at all. But I'm glad I did it because it kind of proves that you can stick to one thing and knuckle down and do something and learn something. But if it's not vocational, then it is just, it's like running the marathon. You do it just to prove that you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, there's tons of things that don't require a degree to do it. But I think it's a good thing to, like I said, just to prove to someone that you can knuckle down and concentrate and do something for 3 years.
Do you think you'll be pushing your children, Nelly and Woody, towards the university?
I wouldn't be pushing them towards it. I would like them to do it, but I'm knowing how they are and how I was as a kid, pushing them towards doing it is probably the worst thing I could do if I wanted them to actually do it. No, I mean, I would suggest it. I just hope that it's still, you know, that you know, higher education is still doable by the time they get to go there, because the way it's going, obviously with cuts and everything, I just hope, you know, higher education is still around in its present form.
You said your nephew's studying the same degree as you. Is that because he wanted to follow in your footsteps?
No, I think he sort of bizarrely followed in my footsteps by mistake, because he failed his A-levels first time around, retook them at evening classes and ended up at Brighton. So I think there must be something in the genes. And he came to Brighton more for the kind of social life rather than which degree he was doing.
I reckon the majority of people here would do the same thing as well.
But yeah, no, it was coincidence that I think, yeah, a sort of combined humanities degree seems to be what the males in our family end up doing.
Okay. Sunny Desi, this was a question that was sent to me. It says, is it true that in an attempt to woo over fellow DJ and wife Zoe Ball, you mixed the track Right Here, Right Now for the first time live after she said, impress me?
No.
Is that just bigger than
Luke Bobbins, yeah.
I really wanted that to be true.
It's not particularly interesting me. I wooed her by making her a mixtape that happened to have Sunshine Superman on it by Donovan, and she made me a mixtape which had Sunshine Superman by Donovan on it, and we thought, whoa, there's something going on here.
Chemistry.
No, because she was already, I met her, I was a guest on her show, and she played Right Here, Right Now. No, that's what, she played Right Here, Right Now when I was a guest on her show, and that impressed me, and that's how we got together.
Oh, okay, yeah. It was that one.
Yeah.
Sure. Why is Brighton such a special place to you? Of course you've studied here and you haven't left, but what keeps you here?
I think Brighton's quite a forward-thinking. It's a forward-thinking city. It's kind of it's having a reputation for kind of alternative lifestyles. When I first came down here, I was just amazed because like the kind of gay population and anarchists and squatters, and it just seemed like alternative lifestyles were tolerated here, whereas they're not in the rest of the country. And I don't know, there's just an attitude in Brighton which is sort of hedonistic but forward-thinking. I like the fact we're always trying out new parking schemes or green MPs, and we're not afraid to stick our neck out. And I think the main thing came from a Sun banner that says, when they didn't want the Tory party down here, and they said, Brighton's full of anarchists, lesbians and vegetarians, and I thought that's the place for me.
Are you open with your political stance, or something you keep on?
I'm fairly openly left-wing. You know, I've got veer left of centre. I'm quite proud to be a socialist.